you want to hear a somewhat cool story about this client?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, I would say maybe over a year ago, we did a Audi R8 with Capristo exhaust, and the R8 was Kemona Grey, which is the exact same color as this car. And that car was actually featured on our YouTube channel. I think it's one of our earlier videos. And the person that we did that car for lives in an area around here called Doral. And his next door neighbor bought this car that I'm driving right now, also in Kemona Grey, and he asked him, hey, who did the exhaust? Because you wake me up every morning, but it sounds amazing. So he sends him our way, and lo and behold, we have another client. We've got the exhaust here that we did a couple months back while he was waiting for the H&R wheels to be completed, which the car has now. It also has the H&R Springs. So I'm giving it a drive just to feel how the springs, you know, affect the ride quality, which not at all. I mean, I know that you're holding the camera and it feels pretty good.
Very comfortable. Very
comfortable. And the wheels look phenomenal. In addition to them looking phenomenal, they are the R101 lightweights from H&R, which means the fronts are about 16 pounds. The rears are about 20 pounds for a 21 by 12.5 wheel. And the tire in the back is a 325/25/21. The front's a 245/30/20. So this thing not only looks amazing, way better than it did before when it came in, but it also is going to perform better, both acceleration, deceleration, and if he takes it on the track, he would notice a huge lap time difference between the factory wheels, which are always going to be much heavier than an aftermarket performance wheel, especially when it's an H&R. So now he's going to take this car back to his house, and the neighbor who only had the exhaust done is going to see it with the lowering springs and also the H&R wheels and be a little bit jealous. So that's the whole goal. The whole goal is to make my first customer jealous, and he's gonna call me and ask me for some wheels. Hopefully it'll be a different model and hopefully a different color on the wheels. That way they don't look like twinsies all the time. But let's pull up to this shoot location here and I will get into more detail about the entire setup. So, my apologies to the pocket police. You know what? Let me just put it in the car, right? Should I just put it in the car?
Okay, it's already out.
All right, it's already out there. So this is the Kemona Grey. Some people will call it blue. Some people will call it gray. It's really interesting because in the shop, under the different lighting, it looks way more blue than it does gray. But now that we're out here, it's a little bit overcast in Miami today. It almost looks like you would say it's a higher percentage of gray. But when I was looking at it on the lift, I was calling it 60% blue and 40% gray. So it's pretty funny that Audi calls it Kemona Grey. But I love the contrast of the wheels. As I mentioned, Hre R101 lightweights. This setup is available in multiple sizes. In my opinion, the 20-inch front and the 21-inch rear is by far the best look for this Audi R8, the second generation. If you do a first generation, since the Audi uses different tire sizes, on the first generation, since Audi uses different profile tires than they do on the second gen, the first gen only allows a 20-inch in the front and the rear. That's because you can actually physically fit a 21-inch in the first gen, but there's just no tire that exists. It would need a 325/20/21 for the tire height to be correct. And to my knowledge, that doesn't exist in a performance tire that you need for this car. But going back to this second gen, these wheels can also be built in 20 front and rear. And also they can be done in 1919 if you're really, really hardcore and want the most lightweight version of the wheel possible, which would blow my mind to think about how light that is, because since this is a 20/9, it's weighing 16 pounds. That's a 21/12.5 and it's weighing about 20 pounds. So would blow my mind if it's any lighter. This is a brushed clear finish. which I think it ties together perfectly with this car. The reason I say that, you look around the car, you're like, where is there something else that matches it? You've got the gas cap right here. So traditional Audi gas caps, you know, back in the days when they had the RS4s and things like that, you had it right here. But now on the second gen R8, you have it here on the gas cap. So I think that's a perfect match with the brush clear finish from HRE. And then taking the matching a little bit further, you have their traditional red, white, and blue center cap, matching the red calipers. And also something really cool that this client did, if Marvin wants to come back a little bit closer, the cross brace for the engine was also removed from the car and painted in gloss red to match the calipers. So I think it's an absolutely amazing job. I cannot wait to show him some photos. I asked him, I said, do you want to wait to see the car in person for the first time and get that wow factor, or do you want me to send photos? He's like, you know what, Dave, just send me photos, send me videos. So right after this, I'm gonna do just that. And this will not be the first, this is the first, but this will not be the last time that this car arrives or appears on the channel. And the reason that is because we did the springs, we did the wheels, we also did the IP exhaust, which I think you guys have heard on this video, but we've also did a tune. But there's two more things that can be done to this car. Number one is some aerodynamics. So this client was thinking about the Vorsteiner wing, and the second would be a twin turbo upgrade kit, which would get this car to north of 1,000 horsepower. But there's different stages, of course, depending on who you use. So this thing is an absolute animal when it's twin turbo, and I know firsthand because when the second generation first came out around 2017, we sent our red Audi R8 to Hefner, and they added a twin turbo kit. That thing was insane. It would make me sick to my stomach, which very few cars do. And so this client is also considering that. That would be extremely cool to have on the channel. And then going back to the wing, it's a little bit tricky if you have a non-plus version or a non-performance version of this car that doesn't come with a wing from factory. And the reason that is because this is an active aero spoiler in the rear. And of course, with a wing like from Vorsteiner, you don't want to drill into the car at all. You don't want to drill it. So what you have to do is, in addition to purchasing the wing, you need to purchase a brand new base plate directly from Audi that already has the holes for the wing from the Plus models or the Performance model. So in addition to that, the third thing you need is the cancellation kit, or else this car's computer is telling the rear wing to go up and down. And if you replace it with that base plate that doesn't move, it's gonna say, hey, there's something wrong with it, and you're gonna have error codes. So this client might do the Vorsteiner wing. I hope he does, because I think visually it is the last little bit that the car needs for that extra aggression. So it'll be that new base plate, the Vorsteiner wing, and the canceling unit that's electrical. So let us know what you think in the comment section below. That last Kemona Grey that we had a Capristo exhaust, which sounded phenomenal. This one has the IPE exhaust, which sounds phenomenal. So there's just a little bit of a different tone, and everybody has a subjective point of view when it comes to the way that something sounds. So let us know which one you think sounds great. And then also let us know what you guys would love to see on R8s in the future. We've been having a lot of calls lately for this car. I'm not sure if it's because of the end of the run for this generation or what have you, but I want to see some different setups, and let us know what you think would look good design-wise and color-wise on this Audi R8.